Hi, my name is Mukesh and thanks for watching this vlog. I welcome my regular viewers and also the new ones who are watching this vlog. As you know that in my every vlog I try to tell you a small story, and sometimes I try to talk to the people as well who have come to New Zealand like me and trying to create a new life here for themselves and a career as well. So today we have with us one student who has a very amazing background. She is from Kerala, but she has lived uh, most of her life in Muscat. She has did her schooling in Muscat, and in India she has lived in Karnataka, and then she has done her civil engineering from Karnataka, and now she is doing masters from University of Canterbury. Yeah. We will ask her when she landed in Christchurch from India, how so far New Zealand has treated her in terms of what was she expecting before coming here, and when she started studying, did the University of Canterbury and New Zealand could match her expectations. So, Sriya, I find it very interesting that you have lived in Muscat, you did your engineering in Karnataka, and then you came to a small place like New Zealand that has a very tiny population, like around 5 million, right? And first, I would like you to tell something about yourself, like how you did your engineering and how you chose University of Canterbury, and what were the options before you while you were planning, and what was your expectation, and some little bit of your background.
Okay. First of all, I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity to share a lot about myself. I did my bachelor's in civil engineering at St. Joseph's Engineering College in Bangalore. It's a very new university. I mean, it was established in 2002, but is doing really well in Karnataka right now. After completing, or I wouldn't say after completing, but towards the end of my third year, fourth year, that's when I decided that I actually wanted to do my master's, and I was aiming for something related to civil engineering, and it also focuses a lot on the environmental aspects. And that's when I decided that I really wanted to do renewable. And then I started the research for courses in renewable energy engineering. I did come across many universities. There are quite a few in India, but mostly specializes in the bachelor's part of it. Then I came across Netherlands, New Zealand, and New Zealand ranks one of the best for this course. That's when I landed into New Zealand. It was a long search, but I think New Zealand is really worth it for the course that I'm doing.
And before you came to New Zealand, what was your expectations? Meaning, what you were expecting from the university, like, and was it as per your expectation? And also, when you answer this question, I would like you to make some comparisons, because you have studied in Muscat in a school.
Yes.
You have did your schooling there, then you did your engineering. Now you are doing masters here. So, like, I would like you to throw some light on like difficulty level of different courses, the teaching style, and the similarities you found, and the challenges which Indian students face when they come here. So,
Yes.
means, what did you find easy, what did you find difficult, and how it is around your course, around your program?
True. I think I'll start from the very beginning. So my background, like ancestrally, I'm from Kerala, but then we settled in Karnataka, and I wouldn't say I lived my entire childhood in Karnataka because my dad works in Muscat, and in Muscat I studied till 10th grade over there. So I wouldn't say there is a lot of difference in the Indian education system and the Muscat education system, because in Muscat I studied at an Indian school. It was a CBSE board, so it totally follows the NCRT scheme. It's quite similar to what happens in India. And then I came down for my 11th and 12th grade, again back to Mangalore in Karnataka, which is again the Indian system. I was quite familiar with it. Done. And then when I moved to bachelor's in civil engineering, it is quite different because you're going to an undergrad level, and then you're mainly focusing on reports and projects and a lot of more technical concepts. So that is quite a little different, but it is still manageable, because in India, I believe teachers train you a lot. You have a lot of question papers to refer from, a lot of professors that are constantly at the back to support you, to keep motivating you and everything. And one thing when I realized that when I moved to New Zealand is the education system is entirely different. Over here, you do your own work. The professors just guide you only when it is really important, or when they actually have to guide you, and when you're confused about something, you can go to them anytime. They'll help you out. But everything else you do, that is your notes, you make them. But in India, your notes are provided. They're pre-printed and probably printed into a textbook and given to you, but over here that doesn't happen. So you basically make your own notes, you make your own assignments, and no matter how much you try to copy, it doesn't work in New Zealand. Back in India, we had our class toppers who would do the assignment. We would copy, submit the same thing, and the teachers are really happy. Okay, chalo, they have done it, it's over. But in New Zealand, it doesn't work that way. The minute you copy somebody else's assignment, you're doomed. So you have to do your own work. And I think that is good in one way because you're actually putting in your knowledge, your efforts. You take the time to curate things which you have to put into your assignment. So that's like a basic difference, like the most common difference when it comes to the education system. And education wise, like teaching wise, I'd really like to say things over here are way more professional than it is in India. Maybe in India, teachers just go through a few presentations, a few textbook questions, and you're done. But in New Zealand, they actually go in depth. Or maybe it's because I'm doing a master's course, they actually seem to go really in depth. You have a lot of brainstorming and problem solving sessions in classrooms, which I thoroughly enjoy. Like, I totally enjoy it, and you feel like you're actually studying and you are actually gaining a lot of experience and knowledge. That's one thing about New Zealand, which I really, really love.
And what about your contact classes? Let's say if I assume your master's program will be 1 year and
Yes.
you will have 2 semesters. So how many days you go to college? So what is the contact classes, and is it online, or do you have mandatorily go to the classes? So what about?
So my course, my master's is a 1 year course. It's about 1 year and 2 months long, and it is divided into 2 semesters. That is 4 subjects in each semester. So in total, it's 8 subjects. So in this semester, all my subjects, that is all 4 of my subjects, are contact classes. So I have to go 4 days a week. Sometimes it's 3 days a week. Although the same course, whatever is happening in the classroom, is recorded and you can totally access it online. But I personally prefer in classroom activities and contact classes because they're more engaging. You feel more active and productive. So I personally prefer online or offline classes.
Okay, and what is the ratio of international students in your class?
Oh, my class, it's really good because we're about 30 students in the class and there are only 3 Indians.
Okay,
Oh yeah, this is the most main subject. Energy systems and analysis is one of our main subject, and we're about 30 to 35 in max, I could say that. And in that, we're only 3 of us who are from India. The rest are mostly Russians. We've got a lot of Chinese and Koreans and a lot of Europeans as well. Kiwis are very limited, to be honest. Maximum of 2 to 3 Kiwis in our class.
mm-hmm. And okay, so it looks like the classes are going smoothly, and the difficulty level is also, you can handle easily if you have done bachelor's in India. And what about and how do you spend your time outside the classroom? So what is the culture in university like? Are there any activities to keep students engaged? And I would say this, so and also when you do this, because this is mostly for the Indian audience, right?
Yes.
How it is different from Indian universities and colleges? So do you guys hang around a lot after your classes? So how the university moves in a day-to-day life? Yeah.
I can give you a clear comparison in this question. In India, we have classes starting right from 9 to 5. No matter what subject you take, every day, at least from Monday to Thursday, Friday, you have 9 to 5 classes. And after 9 to 5, I can assure you that everybody is exhausted. They just want to go back to their rooms and get some rest, eat something, and sleep. Okay, but in New Zealand, it's very different because I don't think we have classes more than 4 hours a day. So you have class starting at 9, it ends by 12 or maximum by 1. Even if it's an intensive class in New Zealand, it probably begins around 9 and ends by 1 or 2. And after that, you're done for the day. Okay, so you have various activities you can do. If you're not into any clubs, you can hang out in the campus. One thing I love about University of Canterbury is the campus. It's beautiful. You can just walk around for 10 minutes and you have the feeling of being refreshed for an entire week. So personally, what I do after my classes is I go to the library, get a few of my work done, maybe take a walk around the campus, grab a coffee or something. But otherwise, I also try to involve myself into a few clubs. So UC has many clubs, let me be honest. It definitely has more than 20-25 clubs you can join. And most of them are very welcoming, especially for international students. So there's UC Global, or UC Wellbeing and UC Indian Association as well. Try to get involved into a few activities over there. And other than that, right now I'm not looking for a part-time, so I mostly engage in stuff like this. But students who have actually found their part-time, it is easy. After you're done with your classes, you can go get your work done, make some money. But in India, it's totally different. Even though you're into clubs and many other university-related activities, you're tired by the end of
So
the day.
it means there is something that would keep you busy.
No, there is enough and more things to keep you busy. I really love the university culture in New Zealand.
Yeah, and this I would like you to, because I stayed quite a few years in university. So I would like you to tell me something about, because which I felt was very different experience for me, about the resources the library has here and the resources you find lacking in Indian universities. So if you can do a little bit of comparison like what the university offers, because when I look at it, it has so many resources. Basically, by the time you understand how much it offers you, your course is finished.
Yes,
There is so much to explore and use. You can barely touch the surface.
Yeah, I've almost finished a semester in UC and I still don't know what more I can explore. There's a lot. There's a lot of facilities that you can actually access. Well, in India, I studied at St. Joseph. The university library is really vast and nice. It does have all the things online as well as offline. You have plenty of books on the topics, off the topics, fictional, study related, everything. But the thing about UC is it's 100 times more vast. They have all the facilities you can ever imagine about. So when I came to UC for the first time, I entered the library, I felt like I was in an entire different universe.
Oh, yeah.
Because you have straight from the tiniest of books to the atlas, whatever you're looking for, you have, the range is quite vast. You have all the ranges. Beginning from the ABCs to whatever you want to know, you have it in the library. You also have 100,000 systems you can work on. So it's not necessary that you really have to carry your own computer or your own laptop. You always have a system that you can find. And the study spaces in the library, really good, because I never found this study space in India. We did have common rooms to sit and read books, but other than that, the personal booths or the silent study zones, which is offered at UC, is a great innovative.
Yeah. But I think it would be important to add that Monday to Friday, and during the exams, when it's a busy time, it's very difficult to find a computer.
It's quite difficult to find a computer.
If we don't reach there on time, most likely we will not get
We
anything.
will never get that. That is a point to be noted. But UC does have a lot of space for.
Yeah, actually, I think they have given a very careful thought to the student needs,
Yes.
their academic needs,
Yes, true.
and anything and everything a student might need while doing his or her studies. The university provides it in some
In
other
the most perfect way, I'd like to say,
Yeah.
because I think the library is 11 floors high.
Oh yeah.
The first floor is really for general purposes, and as you go higher, you have silent study zones, discussion rooms, which are like perfect. Creates the perfect ambience. It's quiet. It's nice. You feel much more productive when you're at the library. And also, there's a maker space in the library that lets student de-stress. And maybe you could do a little bit of painting or a little bit of doodling, anything in there. You have a zone to de-stress yourself. You also have a gaming area, which I don't think most Indian universities do not have. So I think the University of Canterbury or the education system in New Zealand is not about stressing yourself. Though you have shit ton of things to do, it's huge. The load is huge on you, but you get your time to de-stress. They let you play, they let you engage in other activities and everything. And also the cafeteria in the library is great. Good student meals, good offers, great food, great ambience. I personally enjoy being at the library all day long.
Yeah, and I read it somewhere, though the current recreational center is too small and there are too many students, they are building
a new one.
Yeah, something new one. So
That's
maybe in
great.
future students it will be much more interesting.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So it looks like you are perfectly satisfied with the university. That's a very good thing. And now also, because many people will be watching this in India, right? And they will be thinking, okay, we will also go to Canterbury and come to the Christchurch. We'll do their masters or bachelors, whatever they want. So because when you come here from India, your currency somehow turns into paper here. It loses so much of value.
So
So
much of
I think
value, yes.
it's very important from the point of view of the viewers that we discuss the costs involved in doing all this.
Yes,
So
true.
let's say if you want to do a regular masters in any engineering stream, so how much it costs, and if anyone is planning to come here, and let's say how much money he should safely keep to maintain his expenses here for a couple of months and to pay the fee.
Okay, that's a very valid question, very important question to all the students that are actually planning to come from India or from any part of the world. For an international student, doing a master starts anywhere from 30,000 New Zealand dollars. It can go up to 50, 55. So 30,000 New Zealand dollars is for people who are doing like basic masters,
Like arts and stuff, right?
arts
No
stuff
lab, no
or
lab,
commerce
nothing.
or
Yeah.
anything, which does not include a lot of labs or anything. It's properly theoretical based. But for people who are doing engineering, like what I'm doing, it can easily start from 40,000 New Zealand dollars, which is quite expensive, but I think it'll be worth it at the end. And living expense, you need a minimum of 10,000 New Zealand dollars in your bank, because personal experience I'd like to share, getting a part-time over here is not easy, especially if you come in the winter time, that is June, July, exactly when I landed. Getting a part-time is really difficult. So if you need to sustain yourself in this 3 or 4 months when you're actually on the hunt for a part-time, I think you need to have at least a minimum of 7,000 to 10,000 New Zealand dollars in your bank account.
So we can safely say that you paid around $40,000 as your fee,
Yes,
and
I did.
and because you mentioned this job and the money, so because you came here almost 4 months back, right?
Yes, 4 months.
So uh, did you apply for any part-time jobs? What was the response? And you must have, I'm sure you have many international students in your class, as you told
do.
us. So could they find the job? So how is the part-time job market right now for the international students? Is it easy to get, difficult to get, and what are the difficulties you guys are facing, if any, you are facing? Yeah.
I wouldn't say it is easy at all. It is really difficult, especially New Zealand has two basic intakes, that is one in June, July, and the other one is in February. So the June, July intake is a winter intake where it's quite saturated, and getting a part-time at this 4 months period is very difficult. The minute I landed in New Zealand, for the first 1 week, I don't think I did any job hunt. It was merely about getting myself settled. But then the minute I got settled in the space and I knew what I had to do, I started applications online. I did drop in a little CVs here and there around the areas which was very accessible to me. But getting a part-time is really difficult. I'll be very honest about it. It took me 4 months and I still haven't landed a part-time, but I'm on the process of giving interviews and hopefully should get one during the vacation period, that is at least as a casual Christmas sales or something like that. And for students who are coming in February, it's not a personal experience, but I've heard from a few of my seniors that coming in February intake is easier to get a part-time because it's summer and a lot of shops, a lot of retail industries are quite active at this period. So getting a part-time at this period would be much easier than in the winters. That's one thing I'd like to share.
Mm-hmm. So how many interviews you have given so far? So how many so let's say just to give the context to the viewers. So how many places you applied and how many people have called you for the interview so far?
Okay, so I think online applications I have given about 100. I can easily say I've applied to more than 100 online, and I've handed over at least 30, 40 CVs to 30, 40 different shops, and maybe I've even talked to like other 10, 15 shops, like asking them if there was an opening or anything. And the number of callbacks I've got is probably very limited. I could say maybe 10 to 20 people have called me back. And and callbacks aren't always a positive thing. They would call back to tell you that I'm really sorry, we do not have an opening right now, but we would let you know. Positive callbacks are very, very limited. I could say probably 5 out of the 100 that I applied for. It's difficult.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and now we are coming at the last segment of our of our conversation. So I would ask you because I would like you to tell us something about your experiences with the culture and the people you met here, and did you get enough opportunity to talk to the local Kiwis and how they treated you so far? So in general, your experience of living in New Zealand for the last 4 months.
Okay, so before I came to New Zealand, I did watch a lot of YouTube videos and I was quite prepared for what I would face in New Zealand. Overall, I'd like to say New Zealand is a very beautiful place. People are very sweet, but it's not necessary that everybody has to be sweet to you. You could have good days, you could have really bad days. Well, on campus, personally, I am at home most of the time, or else I'm in campus. And in campus, my classmates are really great. They're all very sweet. You ask them any question, any help, they're always ready to help you. And on road, when you're traveling or you're in the mall or anywhere, I find people to be very, very sweet. But it's not necessary that everybody has to be sweet to you. Some of them, they might be having their bad days. Probably you are having your bad day. Sometimes they're all very sweet, sometimes they're all not very sweet. But the one thing I would like to highlight about New Zealand is Kiwis are a great fan of small talks. So I'm walking on the way, like on the way to the university, and I find somebody walking across. Hi mate, how are you doing? The hi mate, how are you doing is very common. You see anybody on road, they're always willing to make a 10-second conversation with you just like that. It's not necessary that you know the person. You're meeting them for the very first time, but they would always make a small conversation. That is nice. Kiwi culture is beautiful. They're very respectful, nice. But then I would like to say Kiwi youngsters are a little naughty. You'll have to be a little careful of them. But other than that, it's beautiful.
Yeah. So I cannot think of anything else. Anything else you would like to share, which we might have missed in this conversation? About your student experience, about your
my
experience
student
living
experience?
here.
I would like to say one more thing, that is about getting accommodation in New
Oh,
Zealand.
yeah.
Yes, accommodation in New Zealand is very tricky, especially the housing is very limited over here. And since New Zealand universities are gaining a lot of popularity, and I think all 7 to 8 universities in New Zealand is in the QS ranking, which means it is getting more saturated with a lot of international students flying in. And student housing is becoming really, really difficult. So if anybody is planning to move to New Zealand, do not wait till the last minute to get your accommodation. Start your search 2 to 3 months before you come to New Zealand. Start your search from India, from whichever part of the world you're in. And preferably be on TradeMe, New Zealand Flatmates, Facebook Marketplace, a great place. Or else much better if you have a friend or somebody who's in New Zealand who could actually do the hunting for you. Much better, because I had a senior who helped me find this place and I'm really happy with it.
Yeah, I think if I may add something to this, I would say, look, if possible, it is always good to stay within the walking distance from the university.
Of course.
That saves a lot of time.
Yes.
And you can literally enjoy the culture around the university.
True.
And it's a student town basically, I suppose.
I mean, we should be talking about it, that the UC host a lot of activities.
Yeah.
They have an event happening every other day. So if you're in and around the university, it is easy for you to be attending every event and get more exposure.
Yeah.
You get to meet a lot of new people, experience a lot of different cultures. Now, the downside is if you're living really far, that is, you won't be able to attend all these events and you actually miss out on a lot of opportunities. It could be opportunity to make new international friends. It could be opportunity to probably get a good part-time. You never know the network you could build.
Oh, yeah.
In and around university. So building network is a very important thing, and to build a network, staying around the university is a great option.
Yeah.
Like really good option.
And also Christchurch is a small place, right? And if you are an international student, you cannot book Uber and Ola like you do it in India. It will be so costly.
It's very expensive.
And it's a small place, so you will have to, and of course the moment you come here, you will not have a car.
Yes.
Right. So most likely you will use the public transport.
Yes.
That means buses. So it will consume a lot of your time.
You're
traveling around. I think so. Like, I feel if you are an international student and you have a lot of money, then it always makes sense to live in a university provided housing.
Yes.
But they will cost you too much.
Yes, they cost you too much. And if you're, imagine you're applying for the 2026 Feb intake, you have to start your hunt a semester before. Because I tried for it too. Like, there are quite affordable options in the uni accommodation. Like Uni Lodge has 200 per week, 220 per week housing, which is quite affordable if you're having a part-time. Even if not, it's actually a benchmark, I think. and but getting into it is really difficult. So you start the hunt for it a semester before, as in 6 months prior.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're able to do that, well and good.
Yeah, but for that you need your maybe visa and money and everything is in
Everything
place.
to be
And that's not an easy
set.
thing.
It's not easy
Yeah,
at all.
because most of the Indian students, they take a loan right before they come here. Nobody has
Yes.
that much of cash to pay 40,000 and
Exactly.
yeah, and that's it. That's all I can think of
Yeah.
for the time being. And I was also, and this while we were talking, you know, it always comes to when I read about the university, it always um, attracts my attention that university is not in a physically big space. But when you look at the world rankings, it's in the top 500.
Yes, it is.
Like in India, sometimes universities are physically big, right?
Big,
Their
yeah.
campus is so big, but they are nowhere in first 2000.
I think it's all about the facilities they provide
Oh,
and
yeah.
the quality of labs. If you've been to the labs at the engineering building, I was astonished. I mean, the facilities they're providing, the equipments they're using is world class.
Oh yeah,
It's
100%.
beautiful. I mean, you are motivated to study when you're in an atmosphere like that. So I think it has to be on the list. Definitely has to make it to the list.
Yeah. So I think I must say, Shreya, University of Canterbury will be very happy with the good and positive feedback you have
Yeah,
provided.
I mean, I am personally very happy with my UC experience, and I would recommend that to everybody, but it doesn't have to be the same for everybody. So it depends on your course, it depends on the people you interact with, it depends on the amount of fees you pay as well.
And one more thing, I think the things you have said, it should be true about New Zealand in general. So
It should
whether you
be.
come to University of Auckland or Wellington or Otago University, the experience would not be very different. I mean, academic experience would not be very different, though the difference of living in different town can be different. Like Auckland would
Yes.
be like a big city, Wellington is the capital, might be a little different, Otago is, Dunedin is a small place.
True. True. That is very true. I mean, overall, I would like to say that the university experience in New Zealand is great. Although you have to put in a lot of hard work, let me tell you, it is not easy like it is in India. It is quite difficult, but you will definitely have a very, very vibrant experience. Very different, but you will enjoy it at the end of the day. And about living, it is quite difficult. In the initial months, you will struggle. I will never say it is going to be easy. Finding a part time is difficult. Getting used to this entire different culture, getting used to a lot of different things. You're exposed to various topics at the same time, which you need to adjust to. It is going to be really, really difficult. But I think with the right kind of help and with the right kind of mentality, it has to be possible.
Yeah. So thanks for sharing your story about how you are managing your life here.
Thank you.
Thank you.